What is the product? What is it you're doing, Christian?
I'm producing cider in Scotland, and I'm producing very particular cider and also from very particular apples. So traditionally there were a lot of apples grown in Scotland, and that kind of got lost because production in the south is more cost efficient. But there are a lot of apples here that are absolutely wonderful, very, very flavorful apples that have grown over centuries in walled gardens. So that's the main source of our apples, is apples from walled gardens. We have the apples from Haddow Estate, from Cluny, from Fraser, from Craigivar, from Gordon's walled garden, and several other places. So the apples are very old espaliers, which is very important for our process. Important is that the apples are from older trees that have not been fertilized much. So they're smaller, and the flavor is absolutely amazing.
What is the importance of the locality of where it's coming from?
So cider, of course, is done, or has been traditionally done in the south, in France, in Somerset, traditional cider places. The UK is the cider capital of. So nowhere in the world people drink as much cider per person as in the UK. The second is Australia. And there are a lot of other places where cider is now becoming more and more important, like in the US and Oregon and the apple growing places. So cider is really on the way up, I believe. A lot of people are becoming more and more interested in cider, and also with it, the quality of cider is slowly going up.
Oh, okay, so you're creating your own cider company called Seidear, is that correct?
Yes, that's right.
How did it come about? Why did you want to do it?
So I used to work in the oil field, and we moved to Aberdeen, one of our postings, and we rented an old house, big garden, and there were apple trees that were looking very sad. So I got some books from the library and started pruning them. And then the next year there were so many apples, unbelievable amount. So we built a press with the boys and stomping the apples with the tree trunk in one of these buckets. And the juice was amazing, and we had apple pressing parties with the Boy Scouts. And there was still so much juice left over that I started to ferment it. I got some old demijohns and put an airlock on. That's how it all started.
You're quite good at it though, Christian. I mean, your ciders are very popular. A lot of them that people taste, people like them a lot. Yes. How have you become so? You're not just producing the cider. You seem to be wanting to make a quality cider as well. How have you come into? Is this through learning, or did you know in the past about how to produce quality cider?
I'm always a curious guy and always experiment. And my kids always say, what is up for dinner? And then I say, well, there's another experiment. Now I mix some buttermilk into the potato mash. How's that? And they say, no. So sometimes it turns out very good, not always. But I'm a guy who really likes to experiment and push the limits. And so it was with cider 10 years ago. My wife didn't come close to that. It did the job. There was alcohol in it, and my friends drank it with if there was a beer on the side and stuff. Then I improved over the years and remembered my time in Brittany and northern France, and the cider there is beautiful. It's orange golden color, low alcohol, fizzy. And it's great, and I said I want to do cider like that, and I went on the bulletin boards. There's a big international community of cider makers, and most people said, you cannot do that. You need apples from the south, and it's too cold there. That doesn't work. And I still tried it, and when I did Kieved cider the first time, that's the way they do that in France. We can speak about the process later on. It was really amazing. It was a different drink. It wasn't the sour, strong alcohol, sometimes cloudy cider. It was a lightly fizzy, beautifully fruity apple cider. And I did that the first time 4 years ago, and I was really excited about that. And now I have put another method on top of that. I'm doing the champagne method after the kieving. So I kieve my ciders, and then I bottle ferment for half a year, and then I do the traditional disgorging. And like the bottle will open like a champagne bottle, and the first flavor will taste like champagne, but you will then say, oh, this is not champagne. What's wrong? Something is even better, and then that's when the apple flavor comes in. So yes, I always try to improve things, and always try to push the limits.
This isn't just a pet project, right? This is something a little bit more serious now. I mean, you're looking to make money out of this, yeah,
yes.
in the long run. So it's not just, this isn't just a you know, in these, bringing it to these like economic times, with everyone just going up, business falling left, right, and centre, you know, it seems very difficult time to be setting up a new business.
Right.
What do you feel about that, and what are you confident? Are you nervous? What are you feeling about all of that? The economic landscape?
It is very difficult times. However, for the cider, I think it also brings home the idea of eating and drinking something that is locally produced, which is what Seidear is, and you know, it's from very unique Scottish apples. I mean, the folks in Somerset that do not have walled garden apples like we do have here. They do not have apples that have been suffering from a lot of cold, that have been plenty of Scottish rainwater. And actually in the summer, the Scottish apples have more sunlight than they have in Somerset. So there are a lot of things in favor of apples here. It may not be as economical as it is in the south to grow them, but the flavors are unique. And I think this is the time to focus back on local produce. It is a drink that is being enjoyed in a setting of celebrating something, because it is done with the champagne method, maybe for a Scottish castle wedding. So that's what I'm targeting at.
Is that part of what's special about it? Is that part of what you believe you'll be able to beat the competition?
Yes, well, we will find out this year. I think last year I just only produced a few hundred bottles, but this year I'm going really big. Whatever, really big for me, of course, or for us. And what was your question?
So no, it was about how important it was. It was about how important it was that they're local apples. Yes. That they're coming from northeast. Are they all from northeast? Are they all from the northeast?
Yes, every single apple in this room is from the northeast.
Yeah, and
all the apples are from walled gardens, apart from one batch of apples that I got 2 days ago from Falkland Estate. Mm-hmm. So Falkland Estate is the traditional hunting grounds of the Stuarts, right? Mm-hmm. Mary, Queen of Scots. I don't know whether she was hunting, but whatever. That was the location. Yeah. And they're an organic community farm, and I just picked up some apples from them, organic apples. So that's the only traditional orchard that I have. Everything else comes from walled gardens.
People who have lost their jobs or are worried about their future, you know, what would you say about them wanting to try something new or start a new business, something like that? You know, because it hasn't deterred you during this times and during all this news about how everything. It hasn't deterred you. Why not has it deterred you? What would you say to other people who are looking to come up with their own ventures, their own ideas?
This is the time to think of what else can you do. What is there? Is there something fun that you always wanted to try out? And that's my chance, right? Yeah. Because now if I call up some companies and say, you know, I need 20 buckets, I need some fermenters, I need some shredder, I need a bigger press, I need this. They're all ear, right? Oh yeah, there's a customer who wants to buy something. Great, right? Yeah. So this really is a chance to find a niche. And also when I spoke with Henry here, who owns the Kincawsey estate, he was delighted. Oh yeah, we're gonna make something for you. You know, I sent the electrician in, and you need some help here and there. So this was fantastic. So this is a great opportunity to start something, because everybody is all ears, right? And everybody is waiting to get out of that terrible problem that we are into, and we're going to get out of that, and then we need something to celebrate for. And of course, everybody will celebrate with Seidear. What else?
Finally, I know I'm going back over ground. What is special about your cider? What is going to beat the competition? What do you think? If someone's, you know, for the Bulmer customer base, why should they go to Seidear?
So what is special about our cider is a source of apples. As I said, most of these apples that I have, everything in this room is from walled gardens, is from very old trees, from old espalier trees. Some of them hundreds of years old. So they're small apples. They have very concentrated flavors, and they come from a cold climate, which, as we know, or as the French say, the champagne grapes and the good wines are from grapes that have suffered, and the apples here undergo. They grow up and grow in very difficult conditions. So the flavor is very concentrated. They have more light than all the apples in Somerset. And the second thing is the process, of course. So I know of 2 people in the world that do Kiev method followed by champagne method on cider. And so I spoke with one of my cider heroes who wrote the book about cider making, a French guy living in Canada. And he said, "Oh, why do you put so much effort into this? You know, that must be amazing. I know 2 guys in France who do that. I put you in contact." So it's a very laborious process. I think the apples strongly benefit from the keeving. The keeving locks in the fruitiness. And the champagne method on top gives you the fizziness and this round and rich aroma that we know from champagne.
Yeah. What's been the reaction of friends and family
Yes.
to your venture? And also, what's been the reaction of people you approach about business? Because it seems you've got things going. You've got contacts. You've created links. You're getting into the shops now.
Yeah.
How's all the reaction been from everyone?
So the reaction has been amazing. People like to drink it a lot. Even people who don't like cider like it. That's good news, because whenever I offer some of my friends or whoever comes to visit, used to come to visit, of course I can't at the moment, can I offer you some cider? I'm sorry, I know you made it, but I don't really like cider. And then when they try it, it's a different drink. It really is a different drink. It doesn't have the yeasty flavor that you have. It has a very nice and light sparkliness. One very important point that I forgot about, what differentiates Seidear from the mainstream ciders, is the UK cider law is very lax, meaning that it allows you to get away with 35% apple contents. So 35%, if you buy a Main Street bottle of cider, there will be 2/3 of water in it. It will be cider that has been sulfated. There's no sulfate in cider, of course. That has been colored, maybe. Aromas have been put in. Has been fermented in 2 weeks. Has sulfates in it, and then they water it down and add aromas and acids. You can do that. You don't need to label this. So 35%. UK cider has to have 35% apple juice in it. The rest can be anything.
Right.
Any of the 50 ingredients that you can look up on the UK government website, and I encourage you to do that. And this is not a very nice thing to drink that you want to take cheers with. Why would you want to say cheers with 2/3 of water? So there are quite a few cider makers now, small producers, who are very proud of only putting apple juice in. Why would you want to put some water in it? So that's another big differentiator, of course.
When you started up, you've had the help of, you're in a partnership with Colin Booth.
Yeah.
Can you just tell us a little bit about that and how he's helped you about?
So my cider partner Colin has planted an orchard in Cluny Castle, and has some of the most beautiful apples. You're going to see them later on. So it is important to have your own orchard, of course, to control the sources. We are very lucky here that there are so many National Trust walled gardens who have gardeners who are professionally tending those orchards and those walled gardens. So it's absolutely amazing to have that source of apples.